music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
Hey, welcome everybody. We are chatting about the 2A rally and been waiting for Pincus for like 15 minutes. So Clover jumped in. We're just going to go chat about it because I think most of the questions were going to be about when is this rally. So we are doing a chat today where we got an invite out to Rob Pincus, who's hoping to organize or is organizing. I'm not totally sure of the rally this year. Was a virtual, well, it was a real rally in 2019, and it was supposed to be a one-time thing, but because it was successful and there was lots of consequences from it that were positive, a couple of people decided to attempt to do it again. Of course, this year's crazy, so that attempt went from another rally, which is just going to be in October instead of November. And I don't remember what the point with that was. I guess they thought November was too close to the holidays. But they decided this year, because of permitting and stuff, to do it virtually, which is, I think, great because it's a skill set the community needs. It obviously allows the potential for more people to show up and to get the word out about the cause, the concept. And we'll chat here. Clover jumped in from Texas, and we'll just chat here a bit. One of the reasons we wanted to ask Rob to jump in to talk about the rally was people weren't clear what time it starts. And I think now we know, since there was a post earlier today with this link to their YouTube channel, and it has the live event kind of on hold, waiting. It says live in 45 hours. So that's actually changed. Wasn't it 43 hours a minute ago? Or am I crazy? Oh, no, it was 48 hours ago, or at some point, I think. And now it says 45.
I don't know. I didn't. I don't guess I've seen that, or I haven't.
Well, maybe I'm just crazy. I'm thinking tomorrow or Saturday is 48 hours away. Well, at least 48 hours from right now would be 3 o'clock on Saturday. So 45 hours, I'm thinking, would be noon on Saturday for me, 3 p.m. on Saturday for everybody else. And if I'm doing the math right, then, then that's when the rally's starting. I talked a bit. Do you want to say anything? What your thoughts on the rally, or anything you might know about it, or you're looking forward to, whatever?
I'm looking forward to just kind of assessing honestly the production value of the whole thing, and then also looking at oh heck, what am I thinking here? The the speakers. I mean, I'm looking forward to see the different speakers. Somebody I posted when I made my little video, talking about it yesterday, I guess it was. Um, Put that up on Full 30, and I had somebody comment that they hoped that it wasn't the same old partisan hack, BS speech crap. And I'm like, well, I don't think it will be, because there's definitely a lot of, we throw the word diversity around, or it gets thrown around a lot, but there's a lot of diversity with age, a lot of diversity with gender, with sexual orientation, with color, with you name it, right? And so
No, with all that, but then also, like, I would say instructor, counselor,
oh yeah,
shooter,
no, absolutely,
airline pilot. So yeah, like ways or walks of life, and then types of shooting. Yeah,
right. So yeah, I think I think it's going to be interesting to see that combination and see how that contrasts with a lot of other things that happen where it's kind of monotone in nature, so to speak.
Well, as you're saying that, of course, a lot of things came to mind, but I think when you were first starting that out, I don't know where you were going, so I started thinking about it's like it could be a barometer. These rallies, any type of event that brings that is an opportunity for the community to come together. The number of people that comes together is an indicator, right? Is a barometer, and if we don't have something to, an event for people to gather, we don't know how interested or active the community is, right? You can't have a thumb on how big grassroots is unless there's something for the grassroots to, I don't know, grow, or someplace with a lawn to be. I don't know what the right analogy is there, but you know what I mean. Like, you have to exercise your stuff sometimes, and this is an opportunity to exercise it. Of course, and not everybody's going to participate. I think it'd be weird if everybody did participate in everything that was thrown out there, but it'll be an indicator of, like you just said, there's a bunch of different people. So you got the boss of one of the biggest distributors, people that purchase from manufacturers and then distribute to end users, Brownells. You got people from, like, I'm trying to say, like, journalism or whatever you'd call like professional media. You've got a bunch of amateur medias. You got one of the biggest dudes on YouTube in here for the second year. And it's interesting that he's coming in as Eric and not IV8088. But anyway, like I'm saying, there's going to be, I don't know, the ability to bring a bunch of different audiences together, at least reach out to a bunch of audiences.
Right.
And well, that's going to be interesting, I guess, because it's a live event. It's a hybrid live event. It's kind of the best of both, right? The speakers, somebody was asking, the speaker is going to be live or pre-recorded. It's going to be 5 to 7 minute segments from each of the speakers that are pre-recorded, presented live. So you get the benefits of both. You get the production value and the conciseness, I guess, the efficiency of having the recorded units, the recorded pieces. I guess there's also some director angle, right? If you've seen all these pieces, you can kind of arrange them in either the right order, whatever the order might need to be, right? Either the right pace or the right subject or the right whatever it is. Like somebody can kind of decide what order to put them in. But anyway, they're going to be a couple of live hosts, from what I understand, at least more than one live host, and then they'll be presenting these recorded segments. But they have the live chat open here, and it's already open, so it looks like they're not going to turn off the chat or anything. That's a good sign. Right. And it should be fairly participatory, but at the same time moving along so that it's not like a conference call where it gets stopped every time anybody has a question. And then what you get, like 3 to 5 minutes times 30, that's 90 minutes, right?
Right.
So it's only going to take an hour and a half, 2 hours at the most, or something like that. Imagine by the time you talk in between them, 2 hours. And so now people don't have like an expectation to have to sit down for 2 days or a whole day in front of the computer to be aware of what's going on, but instead it's just a couple hours. Hopefully, again, it can bring a bunch of people together. I guess I started this with how do we know who's being part of it, but I guess explaining that it's live, we'll be able to determine from the chat potentially who all is in there. But that being said, trying to think of like a large chat, like watching one of Liberty Dolls chats. Just got over 1,000 people going. Every once in a while, one of the big YouTubers will have a channel or do a live event or something where they've got over 1,000 people in the live event, and it's not like you have any conduce. There's no useful conversation happening. You can basically throw out points, maybe to answer a question or address something,
right? And
it'll show up 8 posts after the person who said it. If you're lucky, you know how to work the little @ thing. But those of us that are familiar with that can probably tell from that, how much interest there is, or how busy it is, or how many people show up. But otherwise, there'll be a count number. Like right now, it says there's 3 waiting. So somebody clicked on this link and is just sitting here looking at a dead screen like me. So at the actual event, that's how we know how many people will be there. So that'll be an indicator, I guess. It doesn't matter how many people are chatting. We'll know from that number how many people show up.
Right.
And I guess from how many likes or whatever interactions with the platform. Now, this is on YouTube, so I can only assume that they're multi-platform, the same way they're being diverse in who they bring into the project. They're going to be diverse on where it is. So I don't go to other platforms so much, but
Well,
I'm
I
sure
know
they'll be
there's
Facebook.
I know there's watch parties and stuff planned for it as well. So you got to realize that though there may only be one watching there on the number, the concurrent viewers or whatever, there could be 20 watching in that watch party or 100 or who knows, right?
Oh yeah, that's a real good point. Actually, that's a super good point. And there's one viewer on YouTube watching it and has a watch party going with 13 people over on Discord or something. That's a platform that doesn't have like a public display of number of audience or something.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool. So the other thing we were going to chat about is we did well, we went to the rally last year in DC, and when we went, I got a flag from Allen Anchor, a company out of California that does merchandise or marketing and stuff. I guess marketing is probably the best way to say it for people that are in business. So they do tablecloths for people that do gun shows. They do business cards and decals and stickers and patches for people that are in business. They do a lot for military and police. So they made a flag for us, basically based off this 2A flag that you see here, which is that was created for the rally last year. And I had one flag made because that was all the time we had. It was kind of last minute notice last year to get to the rally. And then because of the way the rally went down with that football game or baseball game or whatever it was, like it just got crazy and I didn't get there as early as I would have liked. But anyway, the flag I brought did get hung in front of the podium and got used a little bit. They gave it back to me, so I brought it home. And then I got a second one, and we gave the second one away last week to anybody who had purchased these flag patches that we had made up for the 2A patch batch. And I think 20 people participated and ended up that Pincus bought a bunch of patches and won because I did an entry per patch that somebody bought. So he had bought like 4 patches and got one of the slots won. So I drew that and we did that live. And I kind of figured Pincus wouldn't want his own flag, right? Or a flag for the thing. You just buy one if you wanted one. So yeah, he told me on Instagram, just let's do this show and give it away to somebody else. So we're not going to give it away tonight, but instead we'll let people know that anybody who wants to keep buying flag patches over at the store, we won't be able to get them to you before Saturday, unfortunately, unless you want to pay for the shipping. I mean, I'll do it if you want to pay the $24 or something to get it to you by Saturday, probably.
Right.
But aside from that, anybody who buys one will be in the running, and each flag will be an entry. So we have this one, which I'm calling the 2019 flag, which kind of looks like this one, where this white part glows in the dark. And then we did one for the patch batch where there's a white border around it, and we're calling that the 2020 flag. There's a couple of each left. So if you buy one of them, or if you buy one of each, that's 2 entries, or if you buy one, that's 1. And then on Saturday, I think he said they're going to do it live. Now, I'm not sure because he's not here. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think I got the impression that that was the concept. Since they're doing it live, they can just incorporate that in somewhere. So if he doesn't show up today before we end this, we've been live for like 15 minutes. We don't have to push it. We'll just end it here in a bit. If there's any questions, people are watching this live, feel free to let us know. We can address them. Otherwise, like I say, I'll just let them know in a text or whatever that we had the chat and we let people know about it. And I'll let people know that if they want to buy a patch, they can potentially get a flag again. So whenever we drew the flag, it was Tuesday, and Pincus won, I decided to draw again, and I drew Ozzy, who is not here right now, but a lot of people know who I'm talking about. And he had been interested in the flag anyway. He was asking me to ask Angelina to make some more flags anyway. So what I'm going to do is give Pincus the folded up new one, or give Pincus the folded up new one to give away on Saturday, I should say. And then I'm just going to send Ozzy the one that we flew in at the rally last year. So Ozzy will have the one from last year as sort of the alternate winner yesterday. or Saturday, Tuesday. Well, that was yesterday. So it was yesterday. All right. Well, like I say, we don't have to push nothing. Am I missing anything? Did you want to address anything since you jumped in?
I think you covered it. I hope everybody's able to make it Saturday.
Yeah, thanks for jumping in and keeping me company. But we're just letting people know if you want to be part of whatever's next, right? What is it that I keep hearing? Oh, where the hell was I hearing this? Anyway, I was hearing something. Where would I have heard it? It had to be yesterday. Anyway, somebody was complaining that we don't work together enough. That that we're at risk as a bunch of people that like the same things or that appreciate what the Second Amendment protects. We're at risk because we don't work together enough, and that we're doomed because we don't have this ability to work together. And I think it was in the same breath or in the same conversation or from the same person that the concept of these rallies being pointless or a waste of time. I'm like, that doesn't add up. It's not logic. It's not logically compatible or whatever the words would be. Like, if you want us to be better, you have to do stuff to get there. It's not like the kid, that meme where the kid's got one foot on the ground, the other foot's going to the fourth stair. You can kind of do that when you're a little kid coming up out of the basement. Like, you'll figure out how to get 4 steps, just to do it. But that ain't the way to go upstairs. Like, that's not a way to tell other people to get upstairs. It ain't the way to get upstairs if you're carrying anything or you're trying to get something accomplished. So the way you get to a goal is you take some steps and you get there. And I don't think everybody has to agree on the steps. I'm certainly not taking the same steps as a couple of the people out there. But when we're all going up the hill, right? We're all going, who cares if we all take the exact same steps? But these are opportunities. So I don't really care if people don't show up. In fact, I don't want people to show up who hate the concept or hate the idea of unity or people working together, especially if it's that guy or her, right? But the people that are interested in working together, this is definitely one of the steps to the next. And I don't think you can expect, I don't think anything is perfect. No, when do you have perfect steps? I'd be skeptical as hell if there was perfect steps, logical conclusions, easy to follow, next step in the next steps for us. That would be scary. That's breadcrumbs leading you to something scary, right?
This is cattle. Yeah, somebody's herding the cattle if that's going on.
Oh, that's a great analogy. Exactly. Yeah. Like, what I would be skeptical if everybody's just following. And anyway, so this is an opportunity to do something that's nonpartisan. So it's not anything, even the political thing and all that. I don't think anybody's telling you that this is the only election that matters or, any of that kind of scare tactics with the election. Certainly not Democrat or Republican. It's a little more in your face that it's nonpartisan when it's in DC, right? But online, it's still nonpartisan. It's non-sponsored, so there's really nothing to sponsor except for some people's time. But if it was in DC, there's no banners up telling you that this organization promoted it or this organization funded it or nothing like that. And it's not affiliated, I guess, same thing. Nobody owns it. It's just the concept of people getting together under the banner of the Second Amendment. And it's not any groups. It's its own little Second Amendment flag thingy there. But getting together under that concept to work together or to raise awareness, or I don't even know if there's actually a set focus. It'd be an interesting thing to ask Pincus. He'd know more than anybody if there's supposed to be, but I suspect there's not. I haven't really seen anything like, here's our mission statement, here's our specific goals, other than to get together in spite of or with the lack of all those things I just mentioned. But anyway, yeah, I think we don't have to keep running in the ground. People that are going to be interested are going to be interested. People that are interested in grabbing a flag can get one, or grabbing a patch can get in the running for another flag. They'll talk about that on Saturday. We'll be there. Interesting little side note, the 2A rally on the virtual thing was planned. I think the real rally was planned for the same day. So until it turned virtual, it was basically planned for this day, October 24th, the weekend before Halloween, I guess. And then the NRA, I think by obligate, has the obligation to have a meeting, even though they didn't have the big NRA convention meeting thing that they normally have.
Right.
They still have they have an obligation to have a member meeting, and they're doing that this weekend in Tucson. So the same time that this rally will be going on, the NRA will technically be getting together at one of the country clubs here in Tucson, which, as you can imagine, are not that big, to technically let members in, and they're going to have all the stuff that nobody pays attention to in the side rooms of the NRA meeting. All that stuff's still going to happen. So there's a bunch of people that are going to be showing up in Tucson this weekend in order to be a presence for the members, in the lack of, their member awareness type of thing, but, just to be there. There are people making the effort to get to Tucson. So it's going to be interesting that some of the people that are, aware that there's third options for the NRA, that are interested in holding the culprits, the unscrupulous people's feet to the fire, that has to be done, or it gets done by a relatively few number of people, less than a dozen people. They'll be in Tucson. So that means that if they're involved at all in the rally, they've got to do two things, and potentially they have to be here in Tucson while the rally's happening. So I'm pretty sure everybody's convinced that was, the NRA had to pick a date, and they decided to pick the date that a whole bunch of people would be paying attention to this. Anyway, a little side thing, and it touches Tucson. So let's see. With that, we'll say got a couple of people out there saying hello, and I don't think if I'm missing anybody, let me know. Well, I guess you can be able to let me know because I'm missing you. I think I'm hitting everybody. So with that, Clover, I keep talking over you every time I say you got to say anything, but otherwise we'll end it here. Anything else?
No, I'm good.
Right on. Thanks again for jumping in. CloverTac is channel over on YouTube. You can check him out. And 2A Rally, I guess, has a channel. And I'll throw the link in here one more time. You can go subscribe to that channel. They only have 190 subscribers. So I'm guessing it's fairly new. I haven't heard of it before. But we're talking about an opportunity for the community to get together. It'll be online, virtually. It'll be this Saturday, October 24th. It'll be about 2 hours. It'll start at noon Eastern, looks like, on October 24th. And if you're interested in helping spread the word, there's a website, 2ND Amendment, right? Second Amendment rally.com. So Second Amendment Rally, just every time I go there, I type in SECON, spell out the word second.
Right.
2ND for second, and then spell out the words Amendment Rally. But first time you go there and you successfully get to it, guess what? Your browser will remember, and as soon as you start typing in 2ND, it'll be there. So anyway, that's the website for the actual thing. I guess I could have gone there. Do they have a link to it? Come on. And then when you go to the website, there's really not much there other than a list of the speakers. I typed in 2ND and I had it. But what you can do is click on this Join the Rally thingy, and that will supposedly send you an email later. So at some point, we're going to get an email telling us, welcoming us to the event or whatever. If you go to the website, you'll see that there's no call to action other than to join in on the rally, but there's no like political points. You don't have to be affiliated with nothing. Nobody here. I thought it was interesting that, again, Eric didn't brand himself with his YouTube name. Nobody really affiliated themselves with any groups here. Some of us know who these people are just from being aware, but nobody's really got an agenda to just promote their stuff. I'm really looking forward to what the focus of these conversations are. Mm-hmm. And like Clover said, we haven't heard anybody talk from, some of these people we haven't heard from for a year. So it'd be interesting to see after a year what other things have changed or what their focuses are.
Right.
All right. Well, let's just talk into talk at this point. Thanks everybody for showing up. We'll be back to pick you up later.
Bye.